Saki.
Okay, it's the last of my NFC teams. In the order I'm probably gonna upload this, I'm probably do straight NFC first and then AFC next. But I'm gonna get these videos out before these games kick off on Saturday. But today we got to talk about the who are these? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe that's their name, and Dallas Cowboys. The LA Dallas Jerry Joneses. Hold on, real quick. That might be my signature to start my videos from now on. Blowing my damn nose. But we are here to talk about two teams that were very disappointed this year. So, first, my division rival, the Dallas Cowboys. So, they started off the year like shit versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not going to lie to you. That was the worst Sunday night opening game I've ever had the displeasure of watching. But then they beat the Bengals when the Bengals still trying to figure it out. Beat the Giants on Monday night. Beat the Commanders because the Commanders suck. Beat the Rams because the Rams suck. They lost to us. And they didn't have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was injured for a couple games this year. Came out, smacked the shit out of it. I had to go to work on this Sunday, but we all really spent it watching football. They lost to Green Bay when they should have won. I'm pretty sure it was overtime. They smacked the skin off the Vikings' heads. They beat the Giants again on Thanksgiving. They ran a rough shot in the fourth quarter only versus the Colts. I was watching that game. The Colts just suck ass. And all that took place in the fourth quarter. They beat the Texans, even though they shouldn't have been in that position anyway. It shouldn't have been close. They probably should have lost that game, honestly. They lost this game that they should have beat versus Jacksonville. They beat us. You know, we didn't have Jalen Hurts. That game was way too goddamn close. We had 4 turnovers, and they took advantage of each and every single one of them. Then they beat the Titans. The Titans didn't have a starting quarterback, and nor did they play their starters as far as the skill position. And then the worst game of the year is the last game of the year, where they proceeded to not do anything. Not only did they look like shit and get exposed, they didn't make no progress when it came to winning the NFC East. What the hell is this music? They made no progress when it came to moving up in the NFC or winning the NFC East. Dak Prescott had a 30% completion percentage and looked like garbage. He, on 2 straight plays to Kendall Fuller, I'm pretty sure, threw touchdown to the defense, touchdown worthy plays. He threw one to Fuller, and Fuller just dropped the first one. He threw it on the same route to Fuller again, and Fuller took the next one to the house. Dak Prescott this year was all over the place. He had 15 interceptions this year. 15 interceptions this year. Mind you, he only played 12 games. That is horrible. 2,800 yards. He's had better. I don't know how much more he would have added. Here, how many games he would have played. Cooper Rush came through to save the day, showed his ass, and balled out. Together, as a unit, they had 3,900 passing yards. This year, Zeke got outrushed by Tony Pollard again. I don't know if this is again. I don't care. Zeke is a shell of himself. Now, 231, that's a 3.8 average is bad. He had 12 touchdowns. Not enough. That's in total. The receiving group, CeeDee Lamb did his thing. He did his thing. He is a number one. The problem is they don't have no other weapons outside of him, and then they're expecting it's like they'll blame him. You know, I think you know what I'm going with. CeeDee Lamb's a number one. I think he's a number one. Michael Gallup was injured. He didn't start the year. He came in. He's like, Dalton Schultz is their tight end. They need to pay him because who else they gonna pay? And then this defense, this front 7, especially the front 4, that is a dangerous unit if I've ever seen one. They are amazing. I will never disrespect this front 4 and this front 7. I never do. I won't do it. You wanna know why? Because these they like gnats, bro. They like gnats. They won't leave you alone. So They was giving Gardner Minshew hell. Look at all these people that had to play defense for them this year. Look at all these people that had to play defense. Michael Parsons, he's the man. Everybody, give Parsons show him some love. We got mad respect for you. How many? Trayvon had 3 interceptions this year compared to like 14 last year, something crazy like that, 10 or 11, somewhere around there. Hooker had a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he had a touchdown. Yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's all right. You know what I'm saying? Michael Parsons, 13.5 sacks is crazy. Dorrance Armstrong is the next closest at 8. Yeah, this is a underrated group. The problem is, like, it's Dallas, so they are prone to do some nut shit and give up a whole bunch of points at a random point in time. Like, they are prone to do it. We just, like, and we in the same division. There wasn't really a tough game this year outside of the Bengals. But the Bengals, this is the second week of the season. The Bengals are still trying to figure it out. Like, outside of us, the Eagles, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars, there was no, like, real tough offense that they had to face. Like the Bears, but the Bears, I wouldn't say tough because the Bears have, like, they don't even know what they run. Like, the Bears is like, fuck the Bears. I take that back. I love the Bears because my man Tyler at work, he loves the Bears. But, like, they're just confusing. I can't put words to the Bears. I just can't. Damn the Bears for right now. But, you know, they didn't really play like no high-powered offense outside of us. Like, I'm thinking of all these offenses. Like, Green Bay is not a high-powered offense. They suck. The Minnesota Vikings, they shut them down. I give them that. Now, again, that was a 4 o'clock game for Kirk Cousins. He don't play at 4 o'clock. So, that's just not going to happen. Like, they sucked. They weren't who they were now. They sucked on offense. They suck on offense. They suck on offense. We were winning up until Lane Johnson got hurt, and we didn't score after that. They shut down Detroit. I give them that one. 6 points to Detroit. I will give them that one because Detroit had the highest scoring league right around this point. 29 versus the Bears a lot. I think a lot of those were garbage times. 31 versus the Packers unacceptable. They were winning 28-14. I remember that one. Bad offense. Decent to pretty good offense. They gave up 40, which is crazy. 40 to a backup in Gardner Minshew, 34, excuse me. Who had 4? The Eagles had 4 turnovers. We had 4 turnovers that day. And they still gave up 34 points. So that should have been concerning. The Titans, they didn't have their skill players, and they just didn't do anything versus the Commanders. Like I said, the NFC East, you always gonna split. I don't give a damn who you are. You would not sweep nobody. Well, they swept the Giants, but the Giants are just whatever. So I don't know. This is I don't understand. I just don't understand the Cowboys. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just slow. I just don't get it. I don't get why they're not better than what they are. But I did say they was going to find ways to win 12 games this year. I was right about that. They are going to find ways to win 12 games this year. It's like 12, 13 games, and they won 12 games. They should have won. They probably could have. If I'm being honest, what's that? Another one. So is that 13-4? Was that 14-3? Yeah, 14-3. Realistic. That's what it should have been. So, but that didn't happen. This man, Kevontae Turpin, I just have this weird feeling that he is going to have some crazy return at some point in this postseason. He gonna do it. That's gonna happen. But bump the Cowboys, as Stephen A. Smith says. Now it's time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who somehow managed to make the playoffs at an 8-9 record. I'm gonna say this team stinks. This team is horrible, just like the division. They beat the Saints somehow, and then did nothing versus the Packers. Got punched in the mouth on Sunday Night Football. Another primetime game that was boring this year, which a laundry list of those. We can talk about that. Could be a whole separate video in itself. They beat the Falcons. Didn't look too great. They lost. I remember this game. They lost to the Steelers. My man Pat came into work. He was like, I don't know what the fuck they was doing. They lost to the Panthers. They lost to the Ravens. They beat the Rams, excuse me. This was in Germany. I remember that one. They lost to the booty man in Cleveland. No, he wasn't there yet. I'm sorry. He wasn't there yet. That was Brisket. Was that Brisket? That was Jacoby Brisket. He was there. And then they beat the Saints after Mark Ingram decided to run out of bounds, which makes no sense. And then he got outplayed. Tom Brady got outplayed by Brock Purdy. They got ran off the field versus Cincinnati. That second half was rough. And then they played fine. They pulled the starters at halftime with them, so I don't care. They gave up 31 points in the second half. They outscored 31-6 in the second half. That is bad. So, hold on 1 second. 1 second. So, as The Rock would say, this team is the biggest piece of dog shit. This team stinks. But they are in the playoffs. And I have no right to argue with them being in the playoffs. Because they're in the playoffs. Could Brady be the perfect replacement for Tua in Miami? I'm not the biggest Tua fan, but it would just make sense to stick with Tua instead of going for a 45-year-old Tom Brady. So he had 4,600 passing yards. Hold on. Let's do this. That's the stats. Hold on. Let me pull up the team stats. Let's do this. How can I pull up? Oh, here we go. The team stats. There we go. So this year, they averaged 18 points a game and 313 yards as far as yards go. He had 4,600 passing yards. It only amounted 18 points a game. That's bad. All right. They didn't run the ball. They just weren't running the ball. I believe I just got an update that said Lamar Jackson is playing versus the Bengals. We'll talk about that in a second. And a video coming up probably later tonight. I'm recording. But this team is horrible. It's literally Tom Brady, Mike Evans. Earlier this year, like shit. It's Brady, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Like that's all they got. So those are the three guys. 6 touchdowns. Mike Evans, another 1,000-yard year. Chris Godwin, another 1,000-yard year. He's back. That's my man right there. I thought he was coming to Philly. I honestly thought we was gonna trade for him, but yeah, it's cool. Chris Godwin, the guy, man. So, and then that's it. Like nobody else is worth mentioning. So, Leonard Fournette had 1,100 scrimmage yards this year. He even had a pass. I'm thinking that's the one that got picked off by Tariq Woolen. I'm pretty sure. Scooty Miller had 23 catches on the year. I don't know. Lavonte David and friends. So this defense didn't play bad. 21 points a game. When your offense is only scoring 18 points a game, that is just not enough to win games. That's not sufficient at all. So, oh my goodness, I pulled out my headphones. So the defense this year gave up on net passing yards. They had 3,400 net passing yards. So they gave up 29. They had more passing touchdowns this year than Tom Brady did. The opponents did. So Brady, 25 and 9 interceptions. This is going to be one of the most talked about games. And I haven't watched anything on TV. This is going to be I know it's been one of the most talked about games on TV. And then Monday morning, we aren't going to be talking about the games that happen on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I know at least for only Undisputed. They will be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because Skip Bayless loves them. He determines what that show talks about. And that is it. So I won't be watching them. I promise you I won't. Lavonte David led the team in tackles, per usual. Him and Devin White were tied for 124 as far as tackles. They dealt with a lot of injuries. This year. So, yeah, couple injuries this year. But that's it. I'm gonna say this. This game right here It's either going one of two ways. And I've said this about every game. It's going to go one of two ways. This is going to be like the week one from last season, where it was it 32 to 29? Let's see. Buccaneers 2021. It's going to be like this. I didn't mean to yell that. I apologize. Where are they at? Preseason. Booyah! 31 to 29. It's either going to be like this, where they go all out, or it is going to be 19 to 9 and a Monday night that is ruined for football, because this year the primetime games have been shit, and these two teams somehow have managed to have two primetime games in one season, and we have to sit there and watch. For the sanity, for my sanity, for everybody's sanity, please pray that this game is a shootout, because if it is, we will have a great game and we won't have to talk about how bad these teams were, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. So that is it. I'm gonna take a quick break. I have 4 more videos to go of this. I have to go be a boyfriend for a little bit, but I have 4 more videos I have to record after this. So okay, I'm about to say my video froze on OBS. That's not okay, but I'm gonna hurry up and end this video. So I'm gonna say thank you for watching. I love you. Bye.